It's not every day here at Weltec Designs that you get to see something unique as this. This is a 2008 Pleasureway built on the Ford E-Series chassis, and it is a very unique option to owning a Class B RV. Now, this being a Class B RV, there's a lot more weight and load on the stock suspension and chassis than there normally would be. I'm gonna take it for a drive and let you guys know how exactly it feels on the road. If I close my eyes, I would think that I'm in a canoe right now. This thing is not enjoyable to drive. I'm gripping the steering wheel, 35 miles an hour. Turn, oh, hell. Oh, that was not what I was expecting. There's a squirrel on the road. Holy shit, oh my God.
Upon examining the aftermath of my mostly normal and casual drive, I decided it was time to collect some scientific data.
8.5 inches. Just 8.5 inches until you turn your favorite campsite into the streets of Los Angeles or San Francisco. Now that I've discovered that the drivability is the opposite of its namesake, we're gonna send this off to our team here at Weltec Designs, and we're gonna put the pleasure back in Pleasureway. And now, in a few short days later, the Pleasureway is now 5 inches higher, and the suspension upgrade has been completed. But let us see if we put the pleasure back in Pleasureway. So I'm making this left turn and I'm going over this dip, and this is normally where I would think my tonsils would be removed, but it's nice and smooth right over that dip. Cool, the rear end doesn't sound like it's gonna shatter the whole vehicle apart. I have a smile on my face. I feel light, elegant, nice and easy to turn with that steering stabilizer, really controlling the roll of the vehicle nicely. Oh my God, there's a squirrel in the road. Yeah, that squirrel, I would have been able to save that squirrel's life very easily, even if it was a fast turn like that. All right, good compression, good rebound. Yeah, I know, honestly, now I drive this vehicle sat back, relaxed. My hands don't feel like I just went through a UFC fight. And of course, everything that made this enjoyable, now pleasurable ride possible is all due to the amazing components designed, built, manufactured, and installed by hand with the team at Weltec Designs. But you need a guy, not like me, who doesn't really know the ins and outs, the scientific terminology. So for that, we're gonna whip the camera over to our bald-headed master of welding and all things van and RV suspension, Jeremy Johnson.
Well, here it is, guys. This is the finished product of Weltec Designs, and this is going to be a 5-inch suspension package. Now, this thing is a Pleasureway, but now it's going to be much more pleasurable to drive. Really, we want to talk about one of the first things is going to be we wanted that additional height on there. Well, the way that we achieve that is going to be putting that larger coil spring in the front of it. Now, what's really important about this coil spring is it's also a higher spring rate, so it's supporting your vehicle much better. Now, of course, having a bigger coil spring is always going to be better, but you know, you have to have a way to control that, and the way that we're doing that is with these Fox shocks. Now, what's great about these Fox shocks is they're specifically valved for the vans. That is key right there. Now, one of the big things that we always talk about in our suspension packages is these monster radius arms. They're 9 inches longer than stock, and we've added a lot of additional caster to it. Now, caster, again, is that straight line through the wheel, and we've brought it back, giving it more positive caster, which is going to make it so much better to drive on the highway, the bumps, the dips, and just everything. Well, we didn't stop there. Of course, we want nice steering as well, so we've added that steering stabilizer to the front. So if you're not familiar with what a steering stabilizer does, is it's really absorbing all the bumps and dips in the road that normally you would feel in your steering wheel. So basically, it's absorbing that energy so you're not getting it in your hands and it just feels like, That's gonna wrap up a lot of what we did up here in the front. We're heading to the back. So as we come to the back of this, wow, there is a lot of room in this wheel well. Now, of course, we're running a small tire on there, but what we're going to be able to do is run a lot larger tire on there. Now, in order to get all this height out of there, we put a full progressive set of leaf springs in there. Now, here's what's ideal about these leaf springs. Not only is the arc built into the spring, so you don't need to run a block, but these springs are now rated for what the coach actually weighs. We didn't stop there. We added a set of Fox shocks in the rear to control those bumps and dips. And then that's it. Like, this thing's just ready for wheels and tires. I want to see this thing like Monster Pleasureway.
And just like that, the Pleasureway has vanished. The owner picked her up, and guess what? They're on their way to amazing adventures across the United States. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel below and do the duties. Leave a like, comment, let us know what you think of this suspension upgrade. Would you do it to yours? Until then, this has been MV, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.